Welcome to Top Prize Tuesday. Welcome back to Top Prize Podcast episode 7. Yes, we are 7 episodes in. And for each episode that I've done, I have not yet done anything talking sports. Well, we finna talk sports today. We finna talk Bears today. As you can see, I'm a diehard Bears fan. And one thing about these Bears is everybody who know me, I am a diehard fan. I will bet on my team. I will go to bat for my team. And unfortunately, I've taken a lot of losses for my team. A lot of big time losses. Like this one right here.
You know, gotta honor a bet. I lost. I put my foot in my mouth. And I gotta eat it, man. I've never been this fucking embarrassed a day in my life, man. I'm a diehard Bears fan. Y'all know it. But I'm sitting here with a fucking Green Bay Packers jersey on. Some bullshit. What? Bet is a bet. Had to honor it. This is some bullshit. I ain't never doing this shit again, man. This is why I drink, man. This is exactly why I drink. Dealing with these goddamn Bears and losing faith in these goddamn Bears, man. But we gonna be back next year, though, man. We gonna be back. We gonna keep it moving, man. I'm bear down all day, man. It ain't gonna never change.
Yeah, man. But if you think that's funny, I got another one.
Class, did you?
I definitely didn't.
Man, bro.
I definitely didn't. Cause I ain't even doing the Nike sign.
No, you're not no more.
I'm doing a Vizio TV sign.
Yeah. And I don't want to talk about the money that I've lost dealing with these goddamn Bears, man. You would think I have a brown paper bag on and disgusted with my team, but I have a love-hate relationship for my team. It's just like a toxic relationship that I just can't get over. I can't get over it, man. I'm going to work it out. I don't care how many times I get my heart broken. I'm going to ride with my team at the end of the day. But we have not won a goddamn Super Bowl since 1985. Mind you, I was born in 1989. I wasn't even born then. So, for us to be one of the original franchises, it's embarrassing to say that we have one Super Bowl championship. That's embarrassing. Now, I'm not mistaken. I'm almost positive 1985 was the only championship we had. But that's embarrassing, man. You kidding me? You telling me in 100 years of the NFL, one Super Bowl championship. Now, I'm grateful to be blessed that I was able to see us in another Super Bowl in 2007, where we lost to the Colts, that we had so much promise. Started off the goddamn game. Kick return for a touchdown by Devin Hester. I thought it was over with right then and there. I was talking mad shit. And then the very next possession, boom, 4-yard touchdown pass by Rex Grossman to Musa Muhammad. Now, you know I was feeling myself then. Now, all of a sudden, all hell broke loose. couple bad turnovers, couple interceptions, and Peyton Manning came through and put us down. That was heartbreaking for me. That was heartbreaking. I was ready. I was ready to talk a lot of shit. I was ready to talk my shit. But that's what happens when you brag before the ending results happen. Yeah, that wasn't a good day for me as a Bears fan. But Lovie Smith in 2011, he had us right back. He had us right back in the NFC Championship game against them weak-ass Packers. Hate them motherfuckers, man. Love their quarterbacks. Love their quarterbacks. I give credit where credit is due. Brett Favre, Aaron Rodgers. I love their quarterbacks. Hate the fucking team. We had them motherfuckers. Then Jay Cutler quit on us in the NFC Championship game. He set out, rode a bicycle for almost a half of football and never came back. And we still almost beat their ass with the backup quarterback, Caleb Haney. The man outplayed Aaron Rodgers, and we almost still bust their ass. But unfortunately, we took that loss. And I had to sit there and watch the motherfucking Green Bay Packers win the Super Bowl. Yes. I sat back and watched the Green Bay Packers win a Super Bowl. That's the worst feeling as a Bears fan that you can have. To watch them win a Super Bowl. It's okay to see them win a playoff game or two. But to win a Super Bowl and know that they have more Super Bowl championships than us, and we've been in the league at the exact same amount of years as them, sucks. It sucks. So the expiration of the Lovie Smith era, of course, we never went back to a Super Bowl. And we had a new regime under Phil Emery. You know, we already had Jay Cutler. We traded for Brandon Marshall, drafted Alshon Jeffrey. We already had Matt Forte. We was ready, locked, loaded on offense. We brought in Martellus Bennett at the tight end position. We was ready. We went 8-8 our first year, mediocre. We went 5-11 our second year. And we was losing by record margins in our second season under Mark Trestman. But the problem to me, where everybody keeps saying the problem was, it wasn't Mark Trestman. Under Mark Trestman, we've had 2 1,000-yard receivers in one season. We had a 2,000 all-purpose back in the same season. And we had an 800-yard tight end also in the exact same seasons, back to back. And we couldn't win. Why? It's because Phil Emery refused to fire Mel Tucker as our fucking defensive coordinator. That piece of shit, who is now the head coach of Michigan State, where he should be in the college realms. I'm a Big Ten man as well. And shit he did last year, I wasn't feeling that. The year before, yeah, he got Michigan State getting busy. What he did for Georgia defense, phenomenal. But what he did for the Chicago Bears, I can't forgive him for that. We was losing by record margins. Defense giving up 45 points, 55 points on primetime games. The year we went 8-8, we lost 3 games in a row, solely based on defense. We could have easily been 11-5 and made a run through the playoffs if our defense was just middle of the pack. We had the worst defense 2 years in a row to go with a high-powered offense, and it just didn't work. Now, Phil Emery, don't get me wrong, he knew how to bring in talent. He brought in Jared Allen, who had 15 sacks. He brought in Willie Young, who had 8 sacks, I think he was with Detroit, and then turned into a monster with us. He brought in Lamar Houston, who had 10 sacks in Oakland. That man brought in some hitters for our defense. But they didn't fit the scheme of what the Bears was running defensively. And it showed, because we was getting our asses handed to us with our offense still putting in work. Damn, nigga emotional talking about this shit, man. But we got past the Phil Emery years. He only lasted a couple seasons with us. And that was shocking, because the Bears normally give all of our GMs at least 5 seasons. That was the quickest firing that I've seen the Bears have since I've been watching the Bears as a kid. So over to a new bum, Ryan Pace. That bum. See, what a lot of people don't understand is everybody is so fixated on him moving up to get Mitch Trubisky when he didn't even have to. Passed on Deshaun Watson. Now, don't get me wrong. I knew Patrick Mahomes was nice, but I didn't see him doing what he's doing in Kansas City. I didn't see that. But we saw what Deshaun Watson was. Now, of course, we didn't want to deal with the 22 cases that he got going on now. But we saw how special that man was. And Mitch Trubisky was a converted wide receiver to a quarterback on some Ryan Tannehill type stuff. And honestly, I didn't see him going within the top 15, if even the first round. Now, he was high on some other people's boards, but I'm almost positive if we would have passed on Mitch, nobody would have moved up and got him. If they did, by all means, y'all run with him. But we should have got Deshaun Watson right then, and we didn't even have to move up to go get him. He would have been right there at 3. Honestly, we could have moved down and got more capital and still drafted Deshaun Watson. Bad move. But this right here is gonna fuck everybody's heads up as Bears fans. Ryan Pace hired John Fox to be our head coach. In his very first draft, he drafted Kevin White. Kevin White. Well, every report that I've seen had us moving up to get Amari Cooper. But he stayed put and drafted Kevin White, who had shin issues all throughout his college career, and which plagued him right here with us. I forgot the man was even still playing football until, what, last year? He played 2 games with, Arizona? That was his very first pick. Second draft, We saw the stupid shit he did when he moved up to get Mitch Trubisky. But his second round pick was even worse. The man drafted Adam Shaheen, who wasn't even on nobody's board, for 4 rounds. Passed up on Alvin Kamara, George Kittle, but overall, we went into the season with a project. In our minds, we wasn't expected to really make any noise. We was really in a rebuilding situation. Of course, on top of drafting Mitch Trubisky, you also signed Mike Glennon for a little piece of change. Knowing damn well I've never seen a quarterback drafted in the top 5 not become your immediate starter. I've never seen that before. Until the Bears did it. I'm not sure if other teams have done it, but I focus in on my team more than a lot of other teams. I haven't seen that. And it was a shit show. A complete shit show. And John Fox went bye-bye the very next year. Let's fast forward. We hired Matt Nagy. Another fraud. Stole money from us. Even though we knew we wasn't in a win-now situation, even with Mitch, Ryan Pace with Nagy put us in a win-now situation when we trade for Khalil Mack, the big boy. Put us in a win-now situation. And that first season was magical. It's magical. 12 wins. We was going crazy. Still lost to them goddamn Packers week 1, which pissed me off. Because we had that, man, we had Aaron Rodgers dead to rights. The man got carted off and came back and bust our ass. But we got him back in game 2. Even though I sat back and I watched the Bears lose a Super Bowl, the biggest heartbreak that I've seen watching the Bears throughout my history was watching how badly Matt Nagy coached the ending part of the first round against the Philadelphia Eagles. That was the worst coaching I've ever seen from a team that's contending. I don't want to say a team that's already awful. We are contending. That was one of the worst coaching I've seen down the stretch of a contending Chicago Bears team, which forced us to rely on a kicker, Cody Parkey, who has been highly inconsistent all goddamn season. And you put that pressure on him? The double doink broke my heart in so many ways. Because that was our year. We win that game, we running through the playoffs. And I feel we win the Super Bowl that year. But we didn't get that opportunity because of our head coach don't know how to coach when it's time to win. Very next season, we all think we're going to be right back at it. Right back at it. Offense was horrible. Got figured out. It was predictable. Head coach didn't want to give up the play calling duties. And in spite of that, our defense, #1 defense that year, still held us down to 8-8. Made the playoffs. Sad, man. Sad. That decisions can cost you championships. And the Chicago Bears' decisions have cost us championships over the past 100 years of our existence. Now that the Nagy era is over, I don't have any expectations going into next season under Matt Eberflus and Ryan Poles. But what I do want to see is some form of progress with our horrible offense. All I want to see is progress. We finally got us a black quarterback that's elusive, who could throw the ball down the field, who can escape the pocket, and can extend plays. We have the quarterback. Now it's time to surround him with the talent that we need, and let's make this run. Because I don't want to see another wasted opportunity, especially at the quarterback position. We haven't had many in our 100-year existence. We haven't had a single quarterback throw for 4,000 yards. In 100 years. Ask yourself, who is the best Bears quarterback ever? You have to Google search that. Because Jim McMahon wasn't it. And he won a Super Bowl. So my expectations into next year, I only want us to win 3 to 4 games max. That's all I want us to win. I want us to have a top 5 pick, and I want us to buffer our team with talent next season, and then we make a push back to being contenders in the 2025 season. That's what I want us to do. Stockpile on as many top 10 talents that we can get, and then make our push. I will not be betting any money. I will not be betting to get my head shaved again. I will not be doing no weird, stupid, crazy bets. But my man's Bags, man. My man's Bags. He always found a way to get me to bet some shit. And I'm going to do everything in my power to not do it this time. I'm doing everything in my power not to do it this time. Because I have zero expectations for the Chicago Bears this season. But I will be watching. Because like I said, I'm in a toxic relationship with the Chicago Bears. And I can't seem to get enough. I can't seem to get enough. Sorry. Call me crazy, call me stupid, but I ride and I die with my team, and that's exactly what I'm going to continue to do until I see the Chicago Bears win the championship, just like I finally got the opportunity that I thought I would never see when the Chicago Cubs finally won their World Series. And yes, I'm a Cubs fan too. I don't want to get to talking about, oh, you from the South Side. How do you be a Cubs fan? Because they wasn't on WGN. They ain't had no Sammy Sosa hitting home runs. That's what I saw. But we ain't talking about that right now. We're talking about these Bears. In 2 years, I'm booking it. We will be contenders in 2 years. Because I don't know how much of this toxic shit I can take. I don't know how much I can take. 2 more years, and we should be back being contenders. Thank you guys for hearing my rant for episode 7 of the Top Prize Podcast.